Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the One Piece versus 4K podcast, where we compare the One Piece 4Kids anime to the Funimation dub, sub, and throw in comparisons to the manga. I'm Ben,
I'm Ram.
and we are back today for episode 30 from the 4Kids end and episode 31 from the Funimation end. But before we get into that, what's been going on with you, Ram?
Not too much. I mean, on the One Piece anime end, this was kind of a bye week for the manga, so this upcoming weekend is when we'll see the next chapter. But as far as the anime is concerned, yeah, we're in the Wano arc. We're still in the flashbacks, but I do think the next episode is it for the flashbacks because um, I think we're in this huge thing. There's this huge event that's going to happen in the next episode, and then I think shortly after this event that happens, I think that pretty much wraps up the flashback, and then yeah, basically the following week we'll probably go back into the present. So yeah, that's kind of on the anime end, and actually I'm kind of excited to get back into the present in the anime because um, yeah, it's gonna go into a very big thing. Very big event in the present that's happening. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching that. But besides that, I haven't really been watching too much anime because recently when I moved my PlayStation downstairs to the living room, even though I'm not playing Fortnite anymore, picked up Madden again, and I've been like playing a lot of Madden recently. So that's kind of been like what's been occupying me right now. But yeah, that's kind of it from my end. What's been going on with you?
You gonna get the new Madden?
No, no.
Why not?
Uh, I only care about franchise mode, and from what I
But you need
see
the new
in the
players, man.
um, like yeah, it's one of those things where like the Falcons need to get like a good team for me to go like get it again. Like I think the one that I have, which is Madden 19, um, I think it is 19. Yeah, I think it is Madden 19. The one that I have, that's like a good group. Like while I am excited about certain players that they drafted and stuff, I think that's part of the big reason why I didn't do anything this past weekend is because the NFL draft happened on last Thursday. Um,
Oh, so you just got back into football.
Well, I mean, football is not going to happen for another few months. It was just an event that just happens during the
Yeah.
summer.
I mean, you got in the mood to play. You got in the football mood. That's why you wanted to go back to Madden.
I
You got the
guess
football
kind of,
itch.
yeah, yeah, sort of, yeah. I've been kind of like missing it. It's just one of those things where I need like the Falcons to have like an exciting roster for me to go out and buy it because um, it's just one of those things where it just doesn't if all they're doing is just like adding in new players and then like changing a little bit of the game mechanics here and there and like upgrading Madden Ultimate Team, like I'm not really too big on Madden Ultimate Team. I'm more of a franchise mode guy, and they're just like every time I go on the subreddit, I mean, I share those complaints with those people on the subreddit. Like, there just hasn't been that much improvement in the game.
And I
Um,
think a lot of people would agree to that too. Like I remember when Madden, I guess Madden 21 is not even out yet. That would probably be coming out in August, right?
no. Madden 21 is out.
No,
Madden 22
sorry,
is going to come out.
22. Yeah, will be coming
Yeah,
out in like around August.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I've heard that the last two games were like no much improvement. I think I even heard that 21 was like a big piece of crap.
yeah. I mean, no, I mean, it's not just the last two. It's pretty much been the same for like a decade. Like, honestly, like everybody, like I think it's either Madden 2007 or Madden 2008. That everybody like enjoyed the heck out of franchise mode. I mean, like I think a large part of the Madden community loves Madden because of franchise mode. And like back in 2007, 2008, like when you would play as a player, like there was like options where like you can call up your agents and like demand like a trade or something, or demand like a higher wage or something. You would take like the Wonderlic test to like, grade to get like a Wonderlic score, which is like the Wonderlic is like it's something that the first Cowboys coach, something that, man, I'm just like drawing a blank on his name. Not Barry Switzer, but see, but basically like something that the first Cowboys coach made, um, and he uh, he basically like he basically made this test to kind of like find Dallas. Tom Landry. Why did I forget Tom Landry's name? Anyway, so Tom Landry made this like exam where based on like the grades, that's the person he would draft to like join the Dallas Cowboys. But eventually, with them being America's team and stuff, like just the popularity of the exam just kind of grew, and like everybody takes the Wonderlic score now going into the draft, and yeah, I mean. In Madden 2007, 2008, when you'd play as a player, when you play as a player role, you would take the Wonderlic test, you would go through the combine drills, you would do all these things. But in franchise mode now, like I create a player, and the thing is, like, you would also like try out for like different teams and stuff, and you pick your favorite team, and but then you pick a situation based on that situation, and then you also get the option to say, hey, do you want to play for your favorite team, or like do you want to play for someone else? And then you also pick like what it is, and like if you choose to be like a late round player, certain things like player development will be if say for instance you want to be like a low round pick, your player development will be like much higher. Whereas, say, if you want to be like an early round pick, your player development will be like a medium, because you're gonna get like certain things. And like it was like stuff like that that really made it fun. And then like also you can also like constantly like move from team to team and all that. And like I don't have that with the current franchise mode that's been there recently. Like
Wait, is franchise mode the same as story mode?
no, 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 no. Story
Oh,
mode is
that's a big
something.
difference.
Yeah, story mode is something new. That
Well, fairly new. I think it's been in the past 3 Maddens,
yeah, I mean,
3 or 4.
they pretty much straight up ripped it from 2K. I think
Yeah,
2K were the first ones to make it, and they ripped it from 2K. And
got it.
I think they're trying to like
Yeah.
calm these kind of like franchise mode concerns with the story mode, but story mode is just different, dude. Like
Yeah.
it's not as good. Like sure, you get to play as a high school player, and then you get to play as a college player, and so it's just it's not the same as like what you did in franchise mode. So it's just something I'm really passionate about that I've been
When are
like
they
kind of
gonna
going
bring
on.
back
But
what year of Madden did they, take away the, QB vision?
I have no idea. That was also something that was back in 07, 08.
I know that was in
Um,
I don't so the last Madden I actually played was, like, I actually played, like, maybe more than 1 or 2 games in, was,
mhm,
Madden 2004, so that goes to show you, about, how long it's been.
yeah,
And
yeah, no,
2004 was when, you had Mike Vick on the cover and,
yeah. When
um
he was an unstoppable,
yeah, and, I mean, that was the first year they had the QB vision, so, I mean, that was, like, the perfect game. No reason to play Madden after that.
basically. Like
Um,
I think when I switched to the PS4, like when I graduated college and I got a PS4, and I bought the latest Madden, I think it was like 15 or 16 or something. Yeah, since then I try to. I never buy new. I never buy it at the $60 mark. I would always wait till Black Friday to go buy it. Which when during Black Friday it was like $25 or $27. Um,
Mhm.
but after a while, it's just like the only difference is like the players. So why am I going to pay $60 just to upgrade the players where like the gameplay is the same? I don't have all those things that I just mentioned in franchise mode. It's just one of those things. So
Well, get ready because I think it's not this year, but it's next year. Your favorite game's coming back. College football.
yeah, dude, I'm actually genuinely excited for college football, man. Like I hated that they like stopped it. Um I get why they had to stop it. I do. But I am excited that like it's coming back because oh man, I'm just really excited
You're
for that.
excited until you realize that it's going to use the exact same Madden engine and it's going to be just as shitty, except it's going to have college players that don't have any names in them.
Is it EA that does I forget if it
Yeah,
is
it's
EA
EA
that does NCAA.
it's EA that's doing the NCA game.
I'll definitely get it as soon as it's released. And then we'll see based on the next because
Well, I guess the only way to know if it's going to be good or not is it depends on how the Madden before that one comes out because they're gonna use the same engine. So I guess it will
yeah,
depend.
yeah,
But
I'll have to see. I mean, I'm definitely gonna get the first one, but
yeah,
as far as like the consecutive ones after that, I'll just have to see how it is. But
yeah.
yeah, so I'm
But
excited about that one.
could care less about any of that. I like how I like how I know so much information about this shit, but like I don't care. That's like that's what me watching a million video game podcasts does to me. I know like stuff about every game and even games I don't care about.
Dude, I mean, it's great that like you have like like you have like all these podcasts that you listen to. Like I don't really, besides ours, and yeah, it's like I don't really listen to too many other podcasts. Like I think I listen to the one other podcast that you do. I think it's like Wayne Academy. Um, it's just those. Like besides that, like I don't really listen to too many podcasts. Really.
Yeah, I mean I definitely really miss driving back and forth to work because I had time to listen to all of them. Now like what happens is like I'll get like way behind or I'll be like 2 episodes behind and I'll actually have to like take 1 day a week to like get caught up on them and um I a lot of times too I don't really like focus on them as much as I do cuz like sometimes I'll have them on while I'm working and I'll only be half focusing and then and I do have sometimes I just don't want like if I'm like super busy at work, I can't have a podcast on because it's too distracting. Or I know if I have it on, it'll be pointless because I won't be listening to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But no,
yeah,
yeah, we have yeah.
I definitely miss driving to work just because I like to listen to the podcasts. So, but yeah, I guess as far as what's been going on with me. Oh yeah, I forgot to ask. Well, I guess we'll circle back around. So this past weekend, I was just playing more of that Castlevania game.
Mhm.
I beat, I actually beat it, which is like surprising how quick I beat it. But I gotta like play through with like 3 other characters. And then like the one mode I'm on now is like, like I think you can beat the whole game in like maybe 2 hours, but like it's just it's annoying. Like I have to find these like I have to save some kind of kids or something. And it's super annoying. But I want to beat this so I can unlock the 2 other characters. But yeah, I've been playing that. And then uh, uh still watching the Mighty Ducks show. And I think oh yeah, and then I did stream this past weekend. So on Sunday I decided to randomly stream because my wife streams. If anyone wants to come watch her at the Laura Bear on Twitch, um, she streams, and I just decided I was going to stream because I was talking in her Discord with someone about some random Razor Scooter game, and I decided I'd stream it. Um, but yeah, I had a good time, and a lot of people from her community came out and watched me, so that was awesome. And you know, Laura says I should probably start streaming every Sunday, so I might make it. I might make it a regular occurrence, but this coming week, I'm really excited for the new Resident Evil game. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens if I'm going to be streaming this week or not, because I really want to be dedicating all my time to playing Resident Evil.
Yeah, and yeah, I think we'll put your Twitch stream in the description and stuff, so that people can kind of like find you on Twitch through
Yeah, I'll
this.
put it in the description if I can remember next week
Yeah,
when I upload this.
yeah.
But yeah, I did want to ask you. So how far did you make it in uh, uh, that one show, that WandaVision?
Oh, I completed it.
Oh, did you? So did you think it was pretty good?
Yeah, no, it was really good. It was a weird show, but I mean, it was good, but it was a weird show. It was
Yes,
just
it was
like,
very weird.
yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to spoil it. Do you think it would be? I mean, it's been out for a while, and it's
I think
over.
it's fine. If
Yeah,
anybody doesn't want this to be spoiled, go like 5 more minutes into the episode, and you know, you'll be fine.
yeah. The only reason I say it's weird is because like uh, because like I guess like the Infinity Stone that was inside Wanda when she got first exposed to it. So it's just everyone, and I mean, besides obviously kidnapping all those people, it's like the Vision and her children. They were all like her imagination, I guess. Would that be, or her own little like imagined reality?
Oh
I
yeah.
guess. So it was like, so none of them really existed, or like what's gonna happen with,
No, wait,
because like
they did all exist. She took all the people from that town.
no, I mean, yeah, I get the town. I'm talking about like Vision and her and
Oh
their
yeah.
two sons.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, yeah, like those two. So like, did they not exist or something, or like what's going on with that? And the other thing was the White Vision that appeared at the end of
Yes.
the thing. Like he flew away. Like is he also part of that, or where did he come from? Because like when Vision tried to escape from that circle, he was like, if like disappearing, like he was like dying.
Mhm.
If Wanda didn't like expand it, like he was gonna die. Um, Figuratively speaking, I guess. So yeah, that was kind of weird. That's the reason why I thought like it was like weird or something. Yeah, I mean, it was like great show in terms of like acting and storytelling and everything, but it was just like weird. So like, are all of them like, do they not exist, or like what is this like? Are they made up because of
Yeah.
that? So
I
yeah,
I guess there's gonna be a season 2, right?
I don't know, because like, so the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is kind of a lead up to the next Captain America movie. Now
Oh
that
yeah. That's what I heard.
yeah, and uh, like
So maybe
because of
they're
that,
gonna make this a lead up to
maybe a standalone, because it
yeah,
feels like at the end of
maybe. Yeah.
WandaVision, it seems like she found her family or something inside as she was like looking through the scrolls. So it's like, are they going to somehow resurrect them because they are her kids and stuff, or what are they going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed it. But
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it too.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It definitely did start out slow, but it did get really interesting towards the end. And I mean, it was cool seeing them go through all those eras.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Um, yeah. And I started watching Mandalorian.
Oh man.
When does it pick up?
Yes. You think it's starting out kind of slow?
Yeah, kinda. It just,
How
I
many
don't know, it's
episodes
just
are
not
you in?
really grabbing. One. Like I finished one, I'm in the second episode right now.
Okay, I think maybe once
And
you get to like episode 3, it'll start picking up. Like once have I mean, because you haven't got to the point where with the child yet, have you?
the child is episode one. Like at the end of episode one, he
Okay.
has Baby
I
Yoda.
I think things
And
start I think things start getting more interesting after like episode 1 or 2 or 3. Like it gets interesting. I think it's worth you by the time you get to the end of the season, you'll be like, "Oh shit, I wish there was another season," and at least you'll get to watch it. Like it really does pick up. Like I think season 2 is far better than season 1, but there's parts on season 1 that get like really crazy.
okay, I mean, yeah, I'm slowly watching the first season right now, so
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I guess yeah. That's kind of like what's been kind of going on here. But I guess yeah. I mean, with I guess like the podcasts going on with you as well as like Twitch. I guess kind of keeping busy with that.
Yeah, yeah. I guess we should get into this episode. My episode was called "The Mermen."
Mm.
Um, what was your episode called?
The worst man in the eastern seas, fishman pirate Arlong.
Got it. Yeah. So this. Okay, first of all, this episode was all over the place. Like trying to write the summary for this was like there's so much different things happening in this episode. It was crazy. It took me forever to write like this whole summary. Like this episode just seemed like it was moving like a million miles a minute. You know what I mean? Like so many different things were going on.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot does happen in this
Like a
episode.
lot of different cast switching and plot points and everything. Like a lot of stuff was going on, and I, I mean, I guess we'll get there when we get there, but I
Yeah.
could not believe. I'm not talking about the like the big crazy thing in this episode, but I couldn't believe it's been 6 episodes since we saw Zolo or Zoro.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't realize
yeah.
it had been that long. Like I like was sitting there trying to remember how many episodes it's been. Like I don't like it's been so long too since he's been gone that I had forgotten like in what manner he had left. So I had to go back and catch up, and try to remember. Like I'm like, wait, oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. Not really.
Yeah.
I knew who he was, but like I forgot like at what point he departed and who he was with and whatever. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you also forgot about Usopp too, so I guess like
I
screw
mean, he was
Usopp.
with. I remembered Usopp when I saw him, but I'm like, oh yeah. So at first I was like, wait, I was thinking they're on the same ship with Luffy, but then I was like, wait a second, we haven't seen them in the past 6 episodes. And then I remembered that they took off earlier, but it's I mean, like it's. I guess I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out in the next episode because I don't understand like where these timelines are converging or whatever. Because if they've been gone for 6 episodes, what the hell has been happening to them? Does it just never tell you what happened to them between the 6 episodes we got about Luffy and Sanji?
They were just sailing.
They're just sailing, doing nothing the entire time.
Yeah.
Well, that's. I mean, okay, then okay. Well, yeah, that's
You'll
interesting.
you'll quickly learn how like there's a misperception in time
Yeah,
in One Piece. Cuz like even though something lasts forever, it hasn't really been that long in terms of time.
yeah. I mean,
Um
I know what you mean. It's been a lot of episodes, but it hasn't been that long in as long as time has been. I know what you're saying. Yeah, but it
yeah.
just seems like it's been forever.
Basically like the time Luffy spent at the Baratier, the 4 days that he spent as like as a busboy or a server boy or chore boy at the Baratier, like that's the longest time I think they've been in a place for like the whole like throughout this saga, the East Blue saga.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
because when you think about it, like for instance, like the first episode when he was at when he was with Alvida, that wasn't like more than like that was probably like a few hours realistically. And even the thing with Warship Island, that was also maybe like a few hours at most too. Like it was all happening on the same day. I honestly think that like in terms of like based on the sky and like the lighting, um Warship Island, the Alvida pirates, on the cruise ship, Warship Island, and Orange Town, where we meet Buggy. All of that pretty much all happened in like almost one day, almost, because it's just like bright like the
Mm-hmm.
whole time. So it was, and I think when there was nightfall, it might have been possible that there was like night when between the time Luffy left the cruise to the time he went to Warship Island. Maybe there was a night that they just skipped. Maybe there was a night that they skipped between. Actually, no, there wasn't a night skip between Orange Town and Warship Island because Luffy got caught in the thing's mouth. But stuff like that, like it feels like it was only like a few things. Um, I think one person actually tracked the time between when Luffy set out to be a pirate all the way up to the halfway point of the story, and they said all of that happened in the span of 4 months.
Oh wow, wow, that's
Yeah,
freaking crazy.
yeah. Like when you see the ascent that happens within that first half of the show, it's like he did all of that in like 4 months. That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, I mean that puts it into the perspective. So
Yeah.
I guess let me get into this. So the episode opens with Luffy, lying on the mast of their ship as it sails on to their next adventure. Luffy can't get enough of the incredible weather and starts speculating where the Grand Line is. Sanji tells him to cool it, and Luffy says all they need to do is find Nami and they can be on their way. Sanji's face is red and says he can't wait to see her again. Yosaku says they're both crazy and where they're heading is Arlong's lair, which isn't exactly a vacation spot. Yosaku says uh, when they last saw her, she had her eyes on a picture of Arlong, and she must have left to go capture him for 20 million berry reward by herself. And Yosaku says he can't believe they hadn't heard of him as he blows his whistle and begins to talk about Arlong. He goes on to say that Arlong's a merman who has been terrorizing the waters of the Grand Line. Sanji's an
Um,
yes.
so actually, before you kind of go through, a few questions I kind of asked. So when Sanji mentions Nami and he turns red and he's like all lovey-dovey and stuff. So in the regular, he's smoking a cigarette and the smoke that comes out of the cigarette is in the shape of a heart. Um, does that happen? Like, how do they kind of? I
No.
guess like that
I
part is
mean, it
deleted.
just yeah, I mean, it just shows him like I mean, his just face just gets red.
There's not even like little hearts that kind of
Uh,
flutter out of his face or something.
I think there might have been like some hearts, yeah. But like there's not even he doesn't even have a I'm pretty sure I didn't even notice that there was even a like a he didn't even have his popsicle in his mouth.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't
Well, like
notice.
he's usually smoking. So, one thing I do want to mention about Sanji, if it isn't clear yet, so a lot of animes usually have um, to kind of describe this character, to kind of describe this kind of character, they're simps basically. Like they just
Yeah.
dote over girls. They're constantly. So Sanji is that of One Piece. He's the
Oh
one
yeah.
who's constantly into girls. He's always thinking about girls, always thinking about serving girls and stuff. He's obsessed with girls.
It's already
Um,
been I remember that from, back when he first met Nami.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why like when he thinks about Nami, he like has this thing where like he puffs out when he's thinking about her, he puffs out like the smoke that comes out of the cigarettes all in heart shape. So yeah, I wanted to see if that was described. But and when you mentioned the Grand Line, when Yosuke was describing the Grand Line, did he mention like so in the regular the way the Grand Line is mentioned, he mentions the Grand Line as the pirate graveyard. Did they say anything about that?
Yes. Yeah, so I haven't gotten
Okay,
there yet.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Uh so Luffy shows okay, yeah. So he says that he's Arlong's a merman who's been terrorizing the waters of the Grand Line. Sanji's excited because he heard that mer people are famous for their gorgeous mermaids. And then he
Mm.
starts saying, what if Nami's actually a mermaid and all this. Um, and then At that point, Luffy holds up a photo of a fish with like a ton of legs and says, "Is this what a mermaid looks like? Or is this what a merman looks like?" And Sanji just begins to laugh. Yosaku then tells them to pipe down, and he begins telling them that the Grand Line is called the Cemetery of Pirates because
Mm,
there's three dangerous forces that control it, and one of those groups is goes by the name of Seven Warlords of the Sea, and that they are
okay.
protected by the Navy. So is that
Okay.
along the same lines?
So that is along the same lines. Also, one thing I wanted to ask you. So in the regular, so Sanji, when he talks about like the mermaids and stuff, he envisions Nami as a mermaid. But like you see this like mermaid who's like topless, but like you see her back.
Yeah, you see her
So,
back.
but you don't see like her front, but like she's like topless, but you see her back. Is that kind of how it was too?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
they didn't bother trying to draw a bikini back on her.
okay, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Um, but they should have, because how dare a mermaid be naked? Um,
Yeah.
let's see. Yeah, so Luffy says that they sound tough, and Sanji asks why the Navy would protect them. Yosaku says the Navy made a deal saying that um, they're giving them a cut of the warlords' take, or the warlords are giving the Navy a cut of their take. Yosaku says that Mihawk was one of those warlords. At that point, Luffy is excited and begins clapping his feet, saying it's unbelievable. Yosaku says that one of the warlords named Jinpei, who is the head honcho, has a henchman named Arlong, who is even more ruthless and destructive. Luffy then shows a picture of Arlong, which is another fish with legs. At that point, Yosaku says Arlong has taken over 20 villages in the East Blue and made them his own, and he's more powerful than Don Krieg. He then says the only reason that Nami had left was to get the 20 million berries because she loves money. And at that point, Sanji begins to fantasize about, maybe she left because she's a mermaid, and that she's sure pretty enough. Luffy then then holds up a drawing of, it's like the same drawing he had held up last time, but now it has like hair, and he's like, "Is this
Uh,
a mermaid?" And Sanji just says, "That's not Nami," like all pissed off. So it's like that's around what's happening.
Yeah, basically, I think Luffy's like, "Oh, is this Nami as a mermaid?" With like, yeah, with that, and Sanji kind of berates him. Quick thing about Jinbei. While Four Kids never reaches Jinbei, we do actually meet Jinbei later on. But yeah,
Oh, man, disappointing.
I know.
Um, okay, so then at this point, Yosaku's pissed and says, "You two aren't even listening to anything I said." Luffy says they will understand their strength once they meet him. Sanji says it's time to cook, and they agree together that they want meat and sprouts. All of a sudden, is that the same food that they say they want?
Yeah, Luffy wants meat. That's like a recurring thing. Luffy really
Yeah.
likes meat. And Yosaku, he wants sautéed bean sprouts.
Okay. Oh well, so they didn't change the food up here, so that's surprising.
Yep.
Not sure how popular bean sprouts are to Americans, so I'm surprised they didn't say like spinach or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, all of a sudden we then, it then cuts to Nami, and we see her saying she can't believe she's heading home. She says it's been forever and everything looks the same, but too bad it's not. We then see inside of, where she once lived, which is now called Arlong Park. Arlong is seen heading over to the colonel of the Navy, who so happens to be dressed up like a rat. Um, he hands him a stack of cash, to which he refers to as cheese. We then see Arlong, who is revealed to be like some ugly blue looking shark dude with a saw nose and a fin on the back of his head. They begin talking about their agreement and how he's glad to have one, how they have an agreement, and the colonel says that he has to leave. It's too dangerous to stay there too long, and he's supposed to be out on patrol. Is this around the same thing that's happening?
So far, yeah. And one thing I wanted to ask it is, does Arlong have tattoos on his body?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to see if they got rid of that or not. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. So then Arlong then tells some other, new character, Hachan, aka Hachi, that he would help him back to his ship, and this Hachan, aka Hachi, is like some ugly looking octopus guy of sorts. He comes out of the water and says that he can take him in his octopod. Hachi says that every day the colonel is looking more and more like a rat. They hop into like this big honeypot looking thing as Hachi takes them to his ship. I guess kind of dragging him along on his back. I mean, I guess he's pulling it with his back while he's swimming, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like he has like eight arms. I mean, he's an octopus,
yeah.
so he uses part of his arm. But yeah.
Yeah. So then Nami at this point is docked on the island and she starts heading towards the gates. This little kid shows up with a sword and tells her to get out of the way and that Arlong has hurt his father and he will pay. Nami then pulls out her staff and slams him onto the ground with it. She then hands him some money for him to hand Arlong as a tribute tax, and she says, "Consider this a loan." She then shows up to Arlong's fort and says to Arlong that she's hit the jackpot and is loaded with treasure. The mermen say it's time to celebrate. As Nami's, you're still wondering like what's going on. Um, yeah, go on.
I mean, yeah. I mean, one thing I wanted to ask you about Hachin. So, yeah, we usually call him Hachin and or Hachi for short. Does Hachi, the octopus, he has like a sun tattoo on his forehead, right?
I didn't notice this,
Okay.
but
Um,
I,
I,
I
I
wasn't paying attention to that much of his distinguishable features. I wouldn't. I don't see why they would take it out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess if they do have tattoos, it's something that they shouldn't take out. The reason I kind of asked this is because, like that tattoo, the sun tattoo on his forehead, and I think Hachin, sorry, I think Arlong has it on his chest somewhere. It's actually like a really significant tattoo because, um, like the Fishman Pirates, the original Fishman Pirates, not the one that Arlong runs now, but the original Fishman Pirates, the founder of it was like a slave and he escaped and then he didn't want and so he recruited a lot of different people but he wanted to make sure no one is viewed as a slave. So what he did is he um, stamped over because like the slave symbol was like a moon. So he stamped a sun thing over him and he gave that to everyone. That way no one would know who was a slave and who wasn't. So that's the significance of the sun tattoo. So yeah,
But we never find that out in the Four Kids.
no, we never find that out. This is like post time skip stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Um, but I forget. I don't think that Arlong any of them were ever slaves. Um, yeah, I don't think they were. I think they were just like just regular pirates. But yeah.
Gotcha. So, yeah, at this point, we finally catch back up with Zolo's crew. Like I said earlier, it's been 6 episodes. And Johnny notices that they're nearing Arlong Park and informs them of it. Usopp appears and agrees with Johnny that they should probably go find the merry-go while they are there first. Zolo then says he's ready to fight, and all of a sudden you hear him screaming. The next thing you know, they've tied him up because they don't want him going to fight. Because he's still wounded um, from the last battle. Uh, Zolo is pissed and tells them to untie him. Is that what happens?
So you don't see
Yeah, you
Usopp
don't see
and
him.
Johnny.
Yeah, it just cuts to him like being tied up in the next scene, right?
Well, sort of. I mean, like you see Usopp and Johnny pick up a hammer and
Yeah,
almost hit him, but you don't see the hit. It
yeah,
just you just speculated that like yeah they hit him in the head. You don't hear a scream or anything. It just goes to the next thing. You hear the bong, and then it just goes to the next scene where like Zoro's tied up.
got it. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering if they cut out that was some kind of censorship, but no, I guess that was just in there for like a comedic effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then Johnny and Usopp plan to go save Nami. They believe that it's going to be easy since she's not docked at Arlong Park and that they're at some place called Coco. They call it Coco Village, and that it'll be easy to get her from the village.
Hmm. The village name is Kokoyashi Village.
Got it. Well, I mean, I guess we know why they didn't call it Kokoyashi. Maybe they just called it Coco for easier. I don't know. I'm like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
100% sure they called it Coco Village.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um,
it might have been easier for the
yeah.
4 Kids one to just refer to as Coco because
Yeah.
of the Cocoa Puffs.
um, yeah, so they say that it'll be easy. Johnny says that he's all of a sudden Usopp is so brave now that he knows that she's not at Arlong Park. All of a sudden, as they're about to dock, they notice 3 mermen are just like chilling out there by the dock. Usopp and Johnny then start to sail away scared. Zolo can't see and says, "Why are they so afraid?" And all of a sudden trying to leave, as Usopp says that there is at least 100 mermen on that dock, which I found very hilarious because there's just 3 guys there.
Yeah.
Um, Johnny then tells Usopp that he hopes that there's a plan B, and Usopp says that they will just tell Luffy they couldn't find Nami. All of a sudden, Zoro exclaims, "That won't work," as they're right behind them. Um, Usopp and Johnny then begin to panic as Zoro yells at them to untie him again. To which this point they get so scared they jump off the ship and swim away as Zolo screams that they could have at least left him a knife. And then next thing you know, 2 of the mermen have docked the ship and are approaching Zolo. So, was there anything that was censored there or different?
Um, there wasn't anything different. It's just so when Usopp kind of like ties Usopp and Johnny tie him and then like escape as soon as they see the fisherman and stuff. Zoro thinks in his head that one day he's gonna skewer Usopp and Johnny and stuff in like it's like
Yes.
a comedic thing. But
Oh, okay. So he's thinking that he's gonna skewer them.
well, he says in his head in a comedic way that like I'm gonna
Yes.
skewer these guys one of these days. But that, I mean, like it's just like a fun little thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. So yes, he did say that. He said he's gonna, I wrote that in here, but I don't see it. But yeah, I know what you mean. He did say
Yeah,
that
yeah,
too. Um,
yeah. He doesn't say anything about a knife though. No.
yes, yeah. So, oh, okay. And yours, he doesn't say anything about a knife. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of them, Merman says that he's all alone, and another tells him it's probably a trap. Zolo then says that they're going to pay for this, and at this point, Johnny and Usopp are, swimming away, and they say that they'll miss him. They swim aboard the shore, and Johnny mentioned there's a town called Kosa up ahead.
Hmm.
As they notice that the town they've arrived in now is like a ghost town, and all the buildings have literally been turned upside down. Johnny says that the mermen have 10 times the strength of human beings, and that these are the type of creatures that they'll be running into at the Grand Line. Usopp asks what they could have done as a giant like merman shows up behind them and says that the person that have done that that had flipped these buildings is the work of the handyman or the handyman of a monster uh, named Mumu or Momu that has done it. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
go
same
for it.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay,
Same thing.
yeah.
Yep.
So Usopp says there's monsters here, as the giant dude says he was originally from the Grand Line, but they brought him here. Usopp begins to run away as Johnny scurries away and hides behind a building and says that he will wait here for Luffy. Um, as Usopp is running away, that kid again that had showed up, with Nami with the sword is there, and he tries to attack Usopp, thinking that he's a merman. As he's about to slash him, a girl shows up behind him and chops him in the head. Um, and then tells the kid not to dare lift a finger. Um, Against the mermen, and after what they did to him, their entire town was destroyed because a single person was brave enough to stand up to them. So, basically saying, if anyone tries to stand up to them, that, bad things are going to happen. The girl then realizes that she says, Usopp is ugly enough to be a merman, but otherwise he seems to be human. As soon as she says this, the merman guy is nearing closer as Usopp begins to prepare his slingshot for an attack. And before he can attack, the girl knocks him out and screams to the merman that the long nosed guy, um, referring to Usopp, is around the corner. She then tells Usopp that they need to go back to her house. Next, yeah, so is this around the same thing that happens for you?
Yeah, it is. Although one thing I forgot to ask, that little kid, does he say why he wants to attack Arlong?
Yeah, he had said it earlier that he had, I think he he killed his father, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what he says in
Yeah.
mine. I wanted to see if that was something censored. Yeah,
I mean, he
yeah.
didn't say that he killed his father. He said that he did something to his father. So
Oh, okay, yeah. In the official one, yeah, he says he killed his father, so that's why he was seeking revenge. So I wanted to just check that. And then this girl that comes to kind of like save them and stuff. Does she have tattoos on her?
yes, she does.
Blue hair. I'd
Yeah, she
imagine,
has blue hair.
and skin complexion and stuff, right?
Hmm.
Okay. I wanted to see if they did something with that, but okay, cool. Yep. So far, yeah, everything is pretty much the same. Yep.
Yeah. So next we cut back to Luffy and her crew on the ship, or Luffy and crew on the ship as they're about to eat. All of a sudden we see this, like huge cow-looking fish underneath their ship. Um, well, he's not quite underneath the ship yet, but we see him traveling under it shortly. We see him begin to wake up and start swimming. Um, so my guess is that's Momu. Back at the Arlong Park, we see Hachi blowing his horned mouth, um, screaming "Momu mealtime" as he has like this huge pig on a stake. He notices that Momu is not coming out and wonders where he could be. At this point, Luffy and Yusaku begin eating the food and then start fighting over the last bit of the food as Sanji tells them to calm down and that they are going to knock over his grape juice.
Okay.
Obviously, that's wine in yours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so all of a sudden, underneath them, we can see that giant cow thing. I'm guessing once again that this is Momu swimming underneath. At this point, we see Zolo's ship sail in as Arlong asks Zolo what he's doing all the way there in the East Blue. Zolo then tells him that he's looking for his crew and calls Arlong a scaly half breed. Arlong tells him to watch his tongue or he'll saw it off, and that they are more powerful than him because they can breathe in land or water. Arlong then says his brain is more advanced than any other species, and humans are going down as the time for Mermen has arrived. At this point, Nami walks out, big shocker, and tells Arlong she's tired of his boring speeches. Arlong reminds her that she's okay because she's their surveyor and no one can draw the charts as accurate as her. Zola then can't believe it, and Arlong can't believe that they know each other. To which Nami replies, that she's been duping him the entire time. That's where she got this treasure from. Zolo says, so her contempt for pirates the whole time was, all a ruse, and that she said yes, correct. And she shows off her tattoo, um, which reveals that she belongs to Arlong's crew. Um, at this point, Zolo is in shock and she says, "What are you surprised?" And the episode ends.
Yeah, and Zoro is heavily bandaged, right? He's not wearing like
Yes.
okay. And yeah, you said Nami has a tattoo, and showing that she belongs. So yeah, I think a lot of it is very much similar. To be honest, dude, like the way that like Nami is drawn in this whole episode and kind of in this arc, it reminds me of like the old school like females in anime and stuff with like Sailor Moon and stuff. Just the way that like the face is drawn and how it's like animated. It's like, oh, this takes me back to like the early 2000s and like late 90s. How like cartoon characters in anime are like drawn on the shows and stuff. I don't. And it makes sense because this show was made in I think '99. So yeah. But yeah, this is the first time when I look at Nami, I'm like, oh man, like the facial features just oozes of like '90s anime or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, this episode was just all over the place. There's tons of new characters that get introduced. Tons
yeah,
of new, plot points. Bunch of jumping back and forth between multiple crews. It was a lot to keep up with. But yeah, great new start of new portion of the anime. So yep,
yeah. Yeah, it was a good episode. Yeah, a lot happened. Yeah, this is yeah. This is I'd say this is probably the biggest arc of this episode. But yeah,
awesome. Well, that's gonna be it for this episode. We'll be back next week. Episode 31 from my end. 32 from Ramzan. But yeah, that should be it. Uh, Thanks everyone for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
yep, cool.
Bye.